Welcome back. Welcome back to A Journey with Labiba. My name is Labiba Sky. I am a spiritual practitioner, medicine woman, and your guide to spiritual tools for authenticity and connecting with your higher self. So, in today's video, I have notes. I'm going to keep it brief and simple and to the point because that's my style. So, what we're talking about today is how to maintain a healthy energy field when dating. I'm dating right now, you guys. And this is simply advice taken from my own observation, what I'm learning so far, and hopefully through my heart's suffering, you can find some much needed tools to have a better experience with it, and especially elevating and keeping your energy field clean and cleansed throughout the process of a lot of exchanges. Without telling all my business, the experiences haven't been horrible. They just require a lot of emotional lifting and labor that I'm realizing I really have to get steeped into some better rituals to maintain all of these connections. So, in this video, we're going to cover the 4-step dating life cycle that I came up with based on my own experience. 2, I'll share with you some spiritual rituals to keep your energy field cleansed, to keep your heart on the field. And 3, we'll end with encouragement and advice so you can keep going and hopefully find that love and romance that you're highly deserving of. Let's start with the life cycle, shall we? So, from my experience, the first step of the dating lifestyle cycle is interest. You find someone you're maybe interested in based on some words on their profile, a little photo here and there, and that interest slash messaging goes into little texts in here, little bits of communication there, maybe sending a voice note. A lot of these apps have voice notes so you can kind of see and hear the vibration of the person in their voice. And then after step 1, which is the interest in the messaging, we go to step 2, the meeting. You have 2 ways to meet. Phone call meeting, that counts for me. You can get a lot of information in just a phone call. So if we're talking about energy, which I'm always talking about energy, let's preserve our energy and just go for a phone call, ladies. Feel the vibration and tone of the voice. Is it a sound that you like? You can find out a lot of information by the sound of someone's voice. Are you attracted to it? That's a meeting style, phone call. Or you can opt for the phone call altogether and meet in person. I like to do something casual. Some women like to go on full dates with men they've never met before. I'm more of a let's keep it casual, grab a coffee, maybe get a chocolate, and meet. Actually, physically meet the person. So that's step 2 in the life cycle is meeting, the meetup. Step 3, introductory storytelling, the AKA getting to know you. This is the part that I think is the most fragile. And I think it's the most fragile and the most important to protect our energy fields because we're talking about ourselves. We're getting to know people. We're listening, which requires energy. We're deciding what we're going to keep and what we're going to let go of. There's a level of sensitivity here because there's a level of vulnerability. How much am I going to share? How much am I not going to share? But most importantly, you have to do the introductory storytelling each and every time you meet this person, a person, in person. There's a level of fatigue that comes with that. So you have to decide how deep am I going to go? What am I going to share? And what am I not going to share? Yeah. The sacred storytelling is, I think, the most important part that really drains me because you're sharing parts of yourself and those little pieces are being left behind each time you do it. So we want to get into some retrieval practices, which I'll share with you next. Finally, in the dating life cycle, as from my perspective and my experience, the what's next. So, 1, we've sparked an interest, we got the messages. The messages have 2 led to a formal meeting, whether in person or over the phone. The 3 is, hey, I've told you a little bit about myself. Do we still kind of feel like there's something more to explore here? And then 4, it's, well, what's next? I don't know. Like, this is the thing that's kind of tricky with the dating, because the what's next is like, well, whose court is it in? Did you guys mutually connect? Is someone not saying? Are we still weighing so many options? Who's reaching out to who? When do you say, hey, like, after this time together, you want to keep in contact? Should we exchange telephone numbers? Like, the what's next is going to be different for everyone. I don't have the formula to that, but when I do, I will share it on this channel. So next we're going to talk about some spiritual tools that help support me and that will support you when you're navigating all of that energy. Let's think about this. What's happening when we are in this dating life cycle? Well, one, there's an exchange of words, the texting, the messaging, our stories that we tell. That requires a lot of our energy, a lot of our time, a lot of our effort to be conscious and mindful, like I know many of you in this community are, to be kind, to withhold, to hold their story sacred, to keep it or leave it. Words require a lot of effort. That's what's happening in this cycle. And number two, the little pieces of us that are being left behind each time we tell our stories. Each time we share a little bit of these people with share a little bit of ourselves with people, with strangers. We don't know these people at all. And then let's talk about the mental fatigue, like the anxiety that may come if you're in an anxious attachment style and you like a person, but it's really too soon to like them with not knowing a lot enough about them. But it happens to us anyway. So there's levels of our triggers and trauma that can show up even in this very early stage of dating. So it's normal and natural to be excited and have anticipation, but sometimes it can be anxiety inducing, and it's really uncomfortable. It can stop you from sleeping and overthinking and maybe worrying too much about things that haven't even happened yet. So let's be gentle with ourselves. What else is happening in this dating life cycle? The emotional labor, right? Like, there's disappointment that can happen on the other this is the what's next. Like, they seemed really great, we had great conversation, but then there's nothing else. There's the disappointment, there's the rejection, there's the it didn't go anywhere and I thought that it would. Or on the other hand, you may be like, I'm clearing and move on fast. Each scenario requires a level of intelligence within you, but either way, either a quick turnover or a longer turnaround, it still requires a lot of effort, time, emotion, feeling, thought. Those are all forms of energy. So let's get into the spiritual practices that are going to help support you. Smudging. So, smudging is the art of taking Palo Santo, sage, lighting it up. I actually have some here right now. And you just are going to cleanse and clear your bedroom, your phone, your car. Anytime you've had a conversation with someone new, just cleanse it, just clear it. And this helps you to get re-centered and re-grounded. Take a few deep breaths. Deep breathing is another spiritual tool. It's a meditation practice. Just take 3 slow, deep breaths after the phone calls, after the meetup. Excuse yourself, go to the bathroom and just breathe and reground and recenter. So smudging, saging with Palo Santo, burning incense, a favorite candle that you like, but lifting the vibration and frequency in the air around you. Because as I speak now, as we hear, that's air. That's our prana. So that's going out into the environment, into the atmosphere. Second spiritual tool is baths. If you're not a big bath person, then showering is also a beautiful way to just literally wash away the experience, the day, the date, and just like visualize the water running down your body and just clearing it and cleansing it. If you do have the ability to do spiritual baths, find a resource and pick different ingredients for different goddesses or gods that you want to invoke and help support you. So, a beautiful spiritual bath that's simple, 3 ingredients: sea salt, not table salt, sea salt or Himalayan sea salt. Himalayan sea salt's pink, so it's going to help support your heart and it's going to give back to you in a loving way because we're looking for love. So our hearts are really open. Our hearts are out there. Our hearts want to receive it. So we're actually giving it quite more than we might like to admit. So Himalayan sea salt, pink Himalayan sea salt, or sea salt in a bath is the simplest way to go about doing that. You can add rose petals or lavender, or really create these really complex or delicately thoughtful spiritual baths. But they're quite nourishing to invite in the water element like that to again clear out energy and really ground you and recenter your heart. Take notes. Take notes. So let's take inventory, right? Like, be okay with the contrast. Like, I like this, I didn't like that. Don't be so hard on yourself. Create some notes. Just take notes about what you liked from the experience and what you didn't, and keep going. Don't attach any type of meaning or judgment or go into like this trauma response. It's just, we're gonna take some notes. We're gonna collect some data on these dates. 4, anointing oils, protection oils. Placing those protection oils on your heart, in your navel, taking that protection oil and putting it in your hair, right? So let's say the exchange was through hugging or touching the hands. Like, add that protection oil on you before you even meet the person, and definitely afterwards, even daily, to just keep you safeguarded from other people's energies. Even the people that are there who may be witnessing your first date for the first time, they're peering, they're really looking in on you, and that's a lot of attention directed at you, and that can penetrate your energy field. And we don't want to come home with 15 people on our backs, invisible people on our backs. We want to come home with our own energy field, cleansed, refreshed, renewed. Okay? And then lastly, I'm going to put in this video in the description box. You can jump over to my meditations that I have on SoundCloud, and I have a 5-minute daily purifying energy filled meditation where you visualize white light and you just cleanse and keep your energy field protected and strong and nourished daily. So that's going to be the description. You can do it every single day, and that's another spiritual tool to keep you revitalized. And finally, you have to be kind to yourself. It's okay if they don't like you. It's okay if they're not that into you. And it's okay if you're not that into them. So let's offer grace to other people, and let's offer grace to ourselves. We just don't like everybody, but it doesn't mean that love isn't available for you. So we're now at the part of this video where I'm going to give you some advice based on my experience thus far. Don't settle. Don't settle. And sometimes we think it's too soon to know, but give yourself the opportunity to get to know. And maybe prepare yourself with questions that are meaningful for you to know. See, what I have experienced is that I am a deep-seated woman, and I want to know the deeper meaning of things, and I want to be able to like go intellectually deep and heart with people. And I recognize that everyone's not willing to do that. They just want something lighthearted, surface, and maybe we'll see where it happens, where it goes. Fair enough. I usually get bored after 2 or 3 meetups in 2 weeks on an app. Some people have been on an app for 6, 8, 12 months or longer. So there's a lot of movement. There's a lot of revolving door energy. There's a lot of disappointment and sadness that people are experiencing. So offer yourself grace, offer other people's grace. But with that note taking, get real clear about what you want. Women and men. Last bit of advice. If someone asks you on a date or a meetup over the phone, well, what are you looking for? What do you want? I have found myself knowing what it is that I want, but kind of hesitating to say it because it's so fresh and new. I don't want to scare them off with my truth. But then I had to break that cycle within myself. I had to say, no, This is what I want. These three things, these three core elements. So I guess the next part of advice I would say is get some core elements involved. What are your three core elements that are like, these are my core values, core desires, authentic code? And I'm going to say those three things out loud. Be bold enough to ask for what you want. And if you're met with, I can't do that, that's not me. Oh, okay, that's what you want. Sure, I can do that. I want to do that. I'll show you that I can. At least you're not at date 7 and you're still trying to figure it out. Because what we're not going to do is waste our time, therefore wasting and our energy. Like we don't want to like little drips, right? You have a faucet and there's a little drip. Every little drip is a waste of water. Anytime there's a little crack in the window and the AC's on and the warm air comes in, that's, a little bit of air that's coming into the house is keeping it just too warm. You want to keep it sealed. You want to keep it tight. You want to keep it honest. And through that honesty, you're going to get to the person that's meant for you, who's in alignment with you. Final words. We're not looking for perfection. We're looking for alignment. Is this aligned with my values, my wants, my desires? If we could meet 3 out of 3, then let's keep going. Let's get beyond the what's next. But we can't get there without being brave enough to ask for what we want. Just say it out loud. And if it sounds ridiculous to him, to her, to they, that one person it doesn't sound ridiculous to is going to be the one. It's going to be amazing. It's going to be so amazing. That's the journey, y'all. I'm on it. I am so on it with you. So if you found this to be helpful and useful, of course, share. Watch this video as much as you want, hopefully, hoping that it's very supportive. This is a one take, baby. I'm not rehearsing anything, although I do have my notes. So this is the video of how to maintain a healthy energy field when in the world of dating. Godspeed. Hold your heart close. Don't give up. Peace.